Hey, what's going on? Ryan here with Intersection Records, and we're talking about the Eagles concert from this last weekend, the first weekend in January 2024, and they were joined by a very special guest, Mr. J.D. Souther. J.D. Souther has co-written many of their songs, and we'll talk about that. He co-wrote "Best of My Love" with Don Henley, for instance, "A New Kid in Town" with Fry and Henley, and "Heartache Tonight." So great songs. Performed those at the Kia Center there in Los Angeles with the Eagles themselves. He was briefly in the band. He says, "I think I was in the band for one day," he recalled in an interview in 2020. And to be frank, they didn't need me. They are a perfectly well-rounded and self-contained band already. I figured we were going to keep writing together anyway, so I think we got the best of the situation, the best possible outcome with him not joining the band. He was born in Detroit, so was Glenn Fry, in November of 45, but was raised in Texas, Amarillo, Texas. He worked there locally in Texas, did a few singles, was in some bands, but ultimately moved to the Los Angeles area. And roommate was one of his first roommates was Glenn Fry. They had a band called Long Branch Penny Whistle. They recorded an album that really kind of didn't go anywhere in around 1970. JD then does his own solo project in 1972. He was probably in the Eagles, per se, around that same time, very briefly, when they formed in 72. He ultimately formed a band, Crosby, Stills, and Nash, the Eagles sound, that whole harmony thing was huge. So what does Geffen Records, or whoever the record company, I think it may have been Geffen, let's get together Souther, Chris Hillman from the Byrds, and Richie Fura from Buffalo, Springfield, and Poco, and do the Souther Hillman Fura record. They do 2 records. They didn't really do much. I've listened to those records. They're okay. You're forcing that California sound, and you got 3 great egos and 3 great singers and performers in that band. It just didn't work out. JD, I saw JD in 2012, and it was great. I loved it until his sound guy made a mistake, and he stormed out on a rainy night in St. Louis. Stormed out and left. We were sitting there stunned. It was a kind of a smaller club and a bar, really. And he just bailed after playing about 10 songs. He did play the New Kid in Town, though. I recommend his 2015 solo album of some of his hits called Natural Science. It's natural history. He does reworkings of New Kid in Town, Best of My Love. Let It Rain is the opening song, which I love. When You're Only Lonely, a song, it was probably his biggest hit in 1979. It's kind of a take on Roy Orbison's song, Lonely. What is it called? What's Roy Orbison's song called? Lonely. Anyway, it's a take on that in the sense that it's kind of a throwback song. It's a really tender song, and he went to number 11 in the charts. In 81, he had the song Her Town Too. Used to be her town, used to be my town too. Big song, kind of about getting divorced and about that. Those stars at that time are approaching 40, and they're all breaking up and kind of redefined adult contemporary music. He also co-wrote Dueling Dalton, Sad Cafe, James Dean. He also co-wrote The Heart of the Matter with Don Henley in 1989, out the End of the Innocents. He was an actor. He was in 30-something, My Girl 2, the show Nashville. He performed with the Eagles the other night, and I thought that was kind of cool and interesting. Check out the Natural History record from 2015 by J.D. Souther. Really, really poignant renditions of songs like New Kid in Town. Check out my channel. We do shows every single week, multiple. And we do our Miles Davis show every Monday night. Peace out. Catch you later. See you.